So across the UK and Ireland, we're working with over 4,000 supply partners, spending 800 million a year with them. But this year, we've set them a new challenge. If they have not started already, they must begin their net zero journey now.
We've been on our net zero journey since 2010, and we have 3 targets. They are short-term, near-term and long-term targets, and they've all been validated by the Science Based Targets Initiative. Our short-term target is 34% by 2025, 55% by 2030 and 90% by 2040. We have Scope 1 and 2, those are our direct emissions that we can control, and that roughly makes up 2%. You then have Scope 3, which is 98% of our footprint. And these are emissions that we don't directly control, but we can influence. And this is where our suppliers come in. So we know the key levers that we need to do to get to net zero. Our suppliers make up roughly about a third of our emissions. And that's why it's important that we focus on a net zero supply chain engagement strategy.
We need to work and want to work collaboratively with our supply partners and then with our small to medium enterprises and social enterprises. But they don't always have the resources or expertise to tackle such challenges, but we do.
Soho started as a standalone coffee shop in the year 2000. We're a premium food-to-go supplier supplying nationwide. We've been working with Sodexo since 2016, and now today I believe we supply over 250 sites. We started tracking our carbon footprint back in 2020, and we've been tracking it every year since. Sodexo have helped us be more accountable. They've provided us with a net zero expert. We've got our first batch of solar panels on the roof. We've got heat recovery packs on our fridge systems. We're working on reducing our waste, and we're looking at reducing our packaging weights across our ranges. We've got our first electric vehicle, which we're delighted about. Our whole site is now powered by your renewable energy. We managed to locate a local farmer, and he now collects all the bread ends and feeds his animals with them. Our plant-based range is really exciting. It's an area where we really innovate, and we're seeing with consumers getting excited that it's growing year on year. I think that Sodexo giving us the deadline is a really good thing. It's helping us focus on what's important.
By September 2023, we're expecting suppliers, which incorporate 75% of our supply chain emissions, to be reporting their Scopes 1 and 2.
By September 2025, suppliers representing 75% of our supply chain emissions again will need to have their own science-based targets. And then by September 2027, that number will have increased to 90%. And then finally, by January 2030, Sodexo will partner with suppliers that demonstrate tangible progress through published reporting.
The impact of the Net Zero supply chain engagement strategy is that our clients are expecting us to be on this journey, and by default, we need to ask our suppliers to be on that journey. And because we're asking our suppliers to be on that journey, they're asking their suppliers to be on that journey. And therefore, you can see that ripple effect creating systemic change.